Shalom, call halal, Yahweh Shemel, Shabbat Hashem, Kodash, double honors for the other apostles and other bishops of Great Millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us the truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers that push on the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful like tabernacle of David. I'm the brother / elder. Shalom and salutations to you all. This is the World War III Daily Update. And today is World War III Salah. Today is Wars and Rumors of War Tuesday. And we're going to let old Scott Ritter give up the rumors, the threats, the news, the reports, right? What does that mean? It means we go to Matthew 24:6, and we read that in the KJV. And it gives us that famous phrase that goes, wars and rumors of wars. Matthew 24:6 in the KJV. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Then what we do is we go in. We read some of these others. We get some of these differences. There's rumors, wars and rumors of war in the NIV. NLT, threats of war. We got rumors, we got threats. You scroll down to the good news. Good news. Then we got news. Good news, news. Rumors, threats, news of battles far away, and reports of war. Reports, threats, right? Reports, threats, rumors, and news. Where did the news go? Reports, where'd the news? Good news. Take it away, Scott Ritter. We're just going to jump in as live right now.
2023, and saw the economic miracle that is Noticed, and saw the extent to which Chinese investment played a role in this economic miracle. I think the Russians and the Chinese now have worked their way through systemic racism. I mean, the Russians were racist against China, and I don't mean in terms of black and white here in America, but there's a prejudice against the Chinese. Not anymore. China has stepped up to the plate. China has been there for Russia. The Russian economy today is succeeding because of China. You can see it. Again, this is anecdotal. I don't know if you could, testify for Congress that this is a game-winning argument. But again, when I was there, I remember in January of last year, 2024, the taxi drivers who used to, when you ordered a taxi in Russia, they're sort of high-end snobs, and they'll bring in their Mercedes and their BMWs. And they all got advanced Mercedes and BMWs. But now the taxis were showing up with these advanced Chinese models. And I would ask the guys that said, why'd you go Chinese? He said, well, hard to get spare parts for the Mercedes and BMW under sanctions. And he said, but these are really cool cars. They're really good cars. I mean, they're really good cars.
Is that a rumor? Or is that... oh, my God.
And they had features, for instance, in the windows.
Is this rumor?
There's a scene, and
this is economic trade. This is part of the war.
The advertising, or like billboards and all that stuff.
Volkswagen was killing it.
Translator
in World War II.
Translate them into English. So you're driving there, and you're like, oh, so that's what that billboard says. Oh, so that's what that sign says. Oh, I'm like, my God. And this is in Moscow. This is but it's not. It's everywhere. These cars are everywhere. You go to Ekaterinburg, they're there. You go to Irkutsk, they're there. I mean, Moscow, they're there in larger numbers. It's a bigger city, but the Chinese have penetrated the Russian market with high quality goods.
And that's part of the reason for war.
And
Trade.
they've also enabled the
Trade
Russians
war.
to build their own industrial depth, their own economic depth, whereas they used to be beholden to Western investments, Western companies. Thanks to sanctions and the divorce that took place, Russia has built up its own companies to fill the vacuum. And Putin and everybody else has said, even if we normalize relations with the United States, all the companies that think they're coming back aren't coming back.
Quickly, is this about business or is this about war? Scott Ritter, Russia just defied the U.S. will end the war on our turn. Well, everything he's talking about adds up to war.
Because you left. And when you left, that Russian company formed up. And now they're doing pretty good business because you left. And you're not coming back.
Oh my gosh. So what does that mean? Come on, Nima.
I shouldn't talk good about the Russian economy. The FBI gets mad at me. But
they have changed. The Chinese, they have changed the market.
The FBI get mad at me. Who is Tokyo Rose? What is propaganda? You understand? They will throw your ass in prison during wartime if they don't like what you say. Fuck a goddamn free speech. All right?
In Russia, I think I can understand that because it's happening as I talk to you. It's happening here in Brazil, Scott.
Yeah. Well, China. I mean, let's just talk about Brazil for a second, because I use this as, and you can correct me if you think I've got this wrong.
So is this rumors, threats, news, or report? Sounds like a report to me.
But the one of the things the United States want to do is the pressure they put on Brazil is, we control the Suez, or not the Suez Canal, I'm sorry, the Panama Canal, and all that container traffic through there. We're going to choke off the Brazilians. We're going to. Well, China built one of the biggest damn ports in Peru, and then they connected that big damn port with a rail line to Brazil. And so the Chinese now bring in the biggest container ships in the world, purpose built for this port. They come into this port, which rapidly offloads the containers, loads them on trains, which then go into Brazil, and it's quicker than going through the Panama Canal, cheaper, more efficient. And what it means is that China now is dominating the Brazilian economy, and there's nothing America can do to stop it. Nothing.
Now, quickly, let me say, didn't DJ Trump talk about how they're going to go grab up the Panama? This all has to do with war and being able to do things quickly, like, get whatever, shipping lanes and, weapons and what's on them freighters.
Am I wrong? Did I get it wrong?
No, you're totally right. Yeah. It's Scott, the way that China is investing in Brazil, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And it's good for Brazil. I think it's good for Brazil because the Chinese, they're not perfect. Let's not pretend that anybody in this world is perfect. They're businessmen. They want to make a profit, etc. But my understanding is that their business deals are pure business deals. They don't come with moralistic strings attached. You have to sign on to this abortion policy. You have to do this. It's just straight up business, and that doesn't mean they can't negotiate an unfair deal. They do. They do. They drive hard bargains, and that has to be watched out in any business. But there's no strings attached when it comes to you have to put a military base here. You have to do this. The CIA is going to come and ask you for favors here. That's how we work. We can't do a clean business deal with anybody. I mean, Brazil, every time we want to do a business with Brazil, there are strings attached to that deal. And the Chinese are just like, now the Chinese are smart because they understand that if you become heavily involved in the trade of Brazil, certain things happen automatically. You don't have to ask for them to happen. They just happen because it's the smart thing to do. And China will become more heavily involved in it. But the amount of infrastructure development that China can bring to bear And when you talk about green economy, I mean, in the West, that's become sort of a dirty word because of the way the Greens have ruined Europe, and in the United States, underfunded. It gets a bad rap. China's one of the greenest places in the world right now.
I'm gonna stop it right there. China used to fill up every Walmart in America, and now China won't do business with America. Tariffs and all kind of other shit. Who's suffering? Okay, so I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna go ahead and close. They that were at peace with you, your allies, they that were at peace we went here yesterday, but your allies. China was an ally. Well, they weren't an ally, but they were just giving us everything in trade. Of course, they're a trade ally. Now it's a trade war. Right? All your allies will force you to the border. Your friends will deceive and overpower you. Those who eat your bread will set a trap for you, but you will not detect it. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it. That's what they're talking about here.
They're rapidly transitioning on a scale. And if you could take that and bring it to Brazil, I mean, maybe the savior of the Brazilian rainforest will be the Chinese.
That's in Brazil. Is China, are Chinese troops in Mexico ready to invade the U.S.? Let's find out. That's closer than Brazil. No? What if the U.S. Army went to war with Mexico? China troops in Mexico to invade U.S. 13 years ago. Thousands of U.S. troops. If we go to war with Mexico, okay, for example, let me give you an example. Here it is, the Ukrainians, or whoever's fighting on that side of Ukraine. Who are they fighting? Well, they're fighting against North Korean soldiers that are embedded with Russians, because this is the way things go. So, if America goes to war with Mexico, who are they going to be fighting? China been there for a while. China troops in Mexico. Oh no, they sent them home. They don't have bases like only America can have bases in places like Iraq that we invaded. What if Mexico invited China to come over? Hey, we got these bases sitting over here. Oh, it's a conspiracy.
Apparently, a lot of alternative ones being highly conspiracy oriented says that there's a station in Mexico near the border and several port cities that are preparing to invade the United States, and they are here right now.
Okay, so this was how many years ago? Fucking 13 years ago. Now let's look at the border. What's going on at the border now? Well, Chinese troops were there. Did they not just come across the border from the Darien or whatever? the troops, oh, your station, your military base, your way station, like the Darien pad over there that they created to bring all of these illegals in. No, just Mexicans, not Chinese troops. The Chinese troops at the military base, now they're in the U.S. How about that? How about that? And a bunch of other troops waiting to come in as soon as the ones inside do whatever they got to do to make it viable. All right? Go back to this. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you and you won't even know about it. You see that? See how we can, oh, it's just a conspiracy theory. Don't believe that. Really? Chinese nationals, fighting age Chinese men coming across the border in the last 13 years, right? Immigrant, I am immigrant. You got to call them immigrants. Can't call them illegal. Immigrants caught crossing southern U.S. What will this bring up, and how long ago is it? Less than 13 years, a year ago. Surge of Chinese migrants crossing southern border in the U.S. No, not from the little military base. All right, take the uniform off and then, come on, a year ago. Been coming in. Well, that's U.S.-Canada border. Chinese migrants caught, what about that? Been coming in. How many of them are military? Look at this. Let's read it one more time. All your allies will turn against you. Remember the trade Walmart, motherfucking cheap Chinese product. They will help to chase you from your land. Chinese national owning land near U.S. military bases. What? How long have they been doing it? They're right up on you. Purchasing. Chinese purchasing of land around military. Huh? How long have they been doing this? How long have they been plotting growing concerns over Chinese project near U.S. military? Huh? What's going on? 10 days ago, Chinese land ownership near U.S. military bases, national threat or policy overreach. What are you doing, Trump? Well, you're grabbing up Mexicanos. But what the fuck is going on in here? 10 days ago, 5 months ago, does China own farmland? And what the hell is going on? How Chinese farmland makes U.S. vulnerable to drone attack. What? Huh? But the Negroes are the problem. Here it is. You got whole armies coming across the border, but the Negroes are the problem. Right? What's going on here? All your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They're on your military bases taking pictures because they live right next door. They will promise you peace. Oh, we're good right here, living right here, while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friend. We're setting a trap for you, nigga. We're going to start by taking down your defenses. When we're going to attack you, motherfucker, we send up the drones. What happened in Iran? What happened to their air defenses? Well, they had inside people in Iran. They had Israeli undercovers that launched drones right during Israel's attack and thwarted Iran's air defense systems with those drones. Does that sound familiar? What is China doing? What happened with all of the drone wars earlier this year? What was that? You're in World War III and don't know it. Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe, World War II, has passed. Behold, the third woe, World War III, is here, coming shortly. Is here. With that, we hope the elect were edified. You better be a show.